This is a Premier Inn, and if you've ever stayed in a Premier Inn before, I could be absolutely anywhere, because for the most part they're all exactly the same. Let me show you what I mean. Hello, this is Craig and welcome to another episode of Craigslife. I am here in a Premier Inn, and as I said in my introduction, they are mostly pretty much the same. They are a budget chain of hotels. They have around 800 hotels in the UK, formed in 1987 as Travel Inn merged with Premier Lodge in 2004 to form Premier Inn. This particular one is on the outskirts of Manchester in Tameside in Hyde and has cost me £54.50 for one night. Let's have a look and see what we think about this particular hotel, as this particular one has got the new updated rooms in it. The new updated rooms have just basically been smartened. They're all still the same size, they're all still done exactly the same, and whether you're staying in a Premier Inn in the far north of Scotland or on the south coast or in London, they will pretty much have exactly the same colour scheme, exactly the same bed fittings, exactly the same, pretty much everything. This one is one of the new rooms. It's got the new wardrobe layout. We also have the illuminated mirror behind, which I'm going to leave off so it doesn't affect the camera. We also have the hairdryer, which rather than being shoved in a drawer out of the way, is right next to the mirror, right where you need it. Why doesn't every hotel do that? I mean, obviously I don't need it, but that's so much easier. We've also got a little bit of hanging space here, and on the front of here, you're probably getting the reflection, a huge, massive mirror. This particular room has just got a chair in it, but some of them also have a sofa bed in them, and you can have additional occupancy. Let's have a little look at some of the other features in this new room. One of the things that Premier Inns have is they all have the same, albeit basic, same attention to detail, even down to the point that here on the end of the desk you've got a bottle opener. Now, there is a restaurant joined onto this particular hotel, as a lot of them do, but if you want a drink in your room, there's your bottle opener. Nice little lamp here, good sized TV. What I do like about this particular setup in the new rooms is right here on the wall I have the access to plug in either a USB stick, audio video leads, or an HDMI to work straight up through the TV without having to mess around trying to plug the cable in. That's a nice little touch, and you'll find this the same in all of the new Premier Inn rooms. We also have the usual tea and coffee making facilities right over here. Should also point out, today is actually the 21st of July, so the Premier Inns have actually just reopened after the COVID lockdown. Usual social distancing rules apply. Although it did say when I booked that the hotel restaurant next door, which is sort of like part of it but also isn't, was actually closed, but it isn't. It is actually open. I think it might just be open for takeaway. I haven't actually investigated it because I did actually nip and get myself some food before I actually came here. But let's have a little look at the rest of the room. I want to keep this bit brief because the problem when we're trying to show you the bathroom here in the Premier Inn is that extractor. That is quite noisy. And a lot of hotels you go to, they're not always quite as noisy as this. But you'll also find that the bathrooms are also exactly the same as well. You've also got a soap dispenser here and also in the shower here as well. Again, we've got screens. I've already mentioned I'm not a huge fan of of curtains rather than screens, but it has to be said, immaculately clean. They've also got drop down stack type toilet paper rather than toilet rolls, but they also have decent size, fairly thick fluffy towels. This, by the way, is the hand towel. Don't for a minute think that's the bath towel, although it has to be said I have been in hotels where the bath towels are not much bigger than that, but this is a hand towel. The bath towels are fortunately far bigger than that. And that's all I'm going to show you on the bathroom because the noise of that fan is doing my head in. Let's have a look at the bed. Here, I'm over here. Over here. Yeah, I'm here. Got me? Good. As I say, this particular room just has the bed and a chair in. Others, in this section where I am right now, you'd have a sofa bed with a big bolster on it. And obviously, if you've got kids, then you can have a family-size room as well. This is really comfy chair, actually. One thing as well that I really like about the Premier Inn is right here, they've got a USB socket right next to the bed so that you can charge Mr. Mobile Phone if you wish. There isn't, however, a plug socket, but they usually do have one at least on one side of the bed. So if you give me a second, I'm going to walk round to that side of the bed and see if there's one there. No, there isn't. That's a bit of a shame actually, because they normally have a plug socket at least on one side of the bed. Here's something you may not have known. One thing about Premier Inns that I always find is I can always get a decent night's sleep. I've stayed in hotels that are double this price and not had a decent night's sleep. Not by comparison to this. These pillows are fantastic. You can actually buy these pillows and the mattress on the Premier Inn website. For the 2 pillows and pillow protectors, £25. For a king size mattress, £525. That's as of the 20th of July 2020. I looked on their website yesterday. They always have a nice, thick, comfy duvet. Also in the summer, if that's too much, they'll have a sheet just laid on here as well, so you could put the sheet on instead. It's little things like that that really do make the difference. And as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to a budget hotel, it's the little things that make a difference. I've already stayed in places like Ibis and Holiday Inn Express and Encore by Ramada, and when it does come to budget, I do really quite like a Premier Inn. Thing is, they still have to be scored. But you know what? I score all of them the same. Because occasionally you'll go into one that's got a little bit of damage. I went into one, and it's, to be fair, may not necessarily have been the hotel's fault, where the bathroom wasn't perfectly clean. But as a whole, I give them all a 5. Because there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. Everything you need is here. The only one thing that is missing from this particular room is a fan, because most of them do actually have fans in. They don't have air conditioning. Some of them do, some of them don't. This has got a radiator here on the wall, which is controlled by a thermostat over here, and a lot of them do have fans in them. But a lot of the budget ones, maybe not the city centre ones, they usually do at least have a fan in the room, which on that score is a little disappointing. But like I say, we have great light, we've got a good bed. I know for a fact that the Wi-Fi is good, the free Wi-Fi, or if you wish you could pay a little bit extra and have the premium Wi-Fi. I generally find I don't need to, because if I'm doing things for work or if I'm just watching videos on Netflix or something like that, I find generally that the standard Wi-Fi is absolutely fine. If the hotel's really busy and there's lots of people using it, yeah, then that tends to slow it down a bit. And in those cases, I may end up paying, I think it's £7 or £8 a day, maybe a tenner a day. I'm not quite too sure. That may depend on the hotel, for the premium. But most often, I don't actually need it. So here we go. This is the Premier Inn in Tameside, in Hyde, near Manchester, which could easily be the Premier Inn in London, or Cardiff, or anywhere for that matter, because they're all pretty much exactly the same. So I'm going to say this right now. If I'm staying in any more Premier Inns in the future on my travels, I'm not going to bother doing a review on them, for the simple reason it's more than likely going to be exactly the same as this one. So I hope you've liked this video, and I hope that when you do your travels you will consider Premier Inns. Of the budget chains, they are actually my favourite. I always get a good night's sleep in them. And on that note, as always, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will put the Premier Inn link down in the comments, the description down below. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.